Hello and welcome to another Scrap Your Stash. My name is Paige Evans and today I'm going to share how to scrap your collection packs. The great thing about collection packs is everything goes together, there's a whole bunch of embellishments that come with it, and everything matches and looks great. So I've chosen the brand new Atlantic collection by Studio Calico, and I've gathered as much of the collection as I can. Got pattern paper, stickers, a punch, vellum die cuts, journaling card, and more. I used a few more supplies and I didn't use all of these supplies, so you'll see as we go along. So I've started with this waves die cut with my silhouette machine, and I'm going to take each piece of paper and go through this 6x6 paper pad and just trace the pieces on each page of the book. So there's one, take the next piece, put it on the next page, and trace around it with a mechanical pencil. Flip the page and keep going, and for the sake of time I'm going to go ahead and fast forward or just skip over to where they're all cut out already. Voila! Okay, so here is the sheet and I want to trim it down, so I'm just going to use the waves part, peel it off the sheet, and I'm just going to eyeball the cut and slice it right there. And I've chosen a light blue waves pattern paper background. I'll scoot these out of the way. And I should probably use spray mist, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to roll some adhesive along the back. And flip it over and put it right in the center of my layout. Looks good. And next I want to replace the papers back in the slots that they came from using dimensional adhesive so that they'll pop off the page a bit and create some interest. And I like the shadows that are created with pop dots. And again, for the sake of time, I'll just show you these three, but you just keep going until, voila, all your papers are in place. Okay, I've chosen these two pictures of my husband and my son. One is in color, but it's been, I used a filter on it, and the other one is kind of sepia. And I want a photo mat, but I don't really want it to be solid, so I've chosen this Constellation vellum paper, and using the old nail trick, just mark where I want to cut it. And I'm going to distress it just by crumpling it and using my fingernails along the edges. I only put adhesive on the center back of my photos, that way the edges can bend up a bit and create more of that dimension and shadows that I like. I'm going to repeat the same photo mat for the other picture. And originally I was going to put this picture on the top left corner, but after eyeballing it and seeing where I like it best, I decided to put it down here at the bottom. Taking one of these die cut journaling cards and tucked it right under the photo. Now it's all about just creating clusters of embellishments to draw the eye all around the page. Okay, so here's a fun story about this collection. It's very nautical themed. There's boats and anchors, and these photos definitely don't have anything to do with the water or the beach or the ocean. It's just pictures of my husband and son that I thought went really well with this collection. So I turned to my husband and I said, "Honey, what title can I use that will go with this collection?" And we thought maybe something about "You Are My Anchor," or I don't know, we came up with a few other things, but then I looked down at the stickers and one of them said, "You Float My Boat," and it was perfect, meant to be. It's about love, so that way I got to use this entire nautical themed collection. So I just put the thickers and these stickers along the curves of these pieces of paper. And now it's time for more fun of embellishing. I've just torn this arrow die cut in half and placed it on either side of the title to draw attention to it. And here's a wave border sticker that I've put along at the bottom. And the vellum inker die cut. I actually moved that inker die cut in the end. You'll see it at the final picture. Just adding things here and there. Where do I want this? I like it tucked underneath the photo best, so that's where it's gonna go. Some more stars. These glitter chipboard stars are awesome. And everything's from the Atlantic collection by Studio Calico. Now, what's a layout without some spray mist? So I dropped some Mr. Huey's along the bottom, and I added a few more things in between, but now the final step for embellishing is these sequins that are part of the Atlantic collection. Just putting them along these clusters. I'm taking this pen, I'm just going to freehand some journaling on the top right corner. I like preserving my handwriting on my layouts, so hopefully someday my kids and future generations can appreciate it. You can read what the journaling says down in my description below if you're curious. I'm using the same pen to ink up this marker, so I just color on it and then I'm going to huff on it to make it moist a little bit and then stamp it on the page a couple times for that distressed look. And as a final step, I'm going around the edge with my nail and distressing the edges a bit. That way you can see the pattern paper on the back. And just so your eye doesn't wander off the page, it's got something interesting to look at. And that's it. Here's another layout I made with the same technique of using an entire collection. This was Soho Garden by American Crafts and paper piecing. Your challenge is to use your collections from your stash.